Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to sort of like a random off the cuff choice where we are talking about recently released anime, Didge and I. Well, joining me today is Didge. How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good. Happy to be here. Happy to talk anime. I feel like I don't get a chance to do that often enough. So appreciate the invite.
Yeah, it's always fun having you around. Um, man, it was a blast. You were here last time. You were here was Pokemon, right?
Yeah, we got a chance to watch the first half of the first season for Pokemon Horizons. Probably the first Pokemon anime that I have watched in many of year. So it was good to rehash that, sort of talk about what got us into Pokemon and things like that. That was a fun conversation.
Yeah. Maybe should try and do season, quote unquote, season two then, if you're up to it someday. I mean, it just recently came out on Netflix.
Yeah, I'd be down. It came out it came out that week that we live streamed,
Yeah.
right? Like okay.
Yes. Perfect timing, I
That was that
suppose.
was that was great timing.
Yeah. But today's review that we have is, as I said, is a recently released anime original. I say anime original because I can't find if it has any source material, so I assume it has. And that's My Omni Girl from Netflix, which, if you're going by IMDb's synopsis, a high school student's life takes an unexpected turn when he meets an Oni Girl on a quest in the human world. And our our thoughts about that will come a bit later because before we truly dive in, I felt like we should go through the what have we read, watching slash reading before we go into it, and let the word go to you first, Didge. What have you
Okay.
read, watched recently?
Well, let's pull up the good old Shonen Jump. Let's let's see. Obviously, I'm keeping up with JJK, Kaiju number 8, Shoujo no Kagurabachi. All of those. Those are the typical ones that we talk about. I think we talked about reading Wild Strawberry too. That's another fun one.
Yeah,
Um, I've also been reading a couple sports anime. Green Greens, which is a golf sports, or not anime. I'm sorry, sports manga. Hopefully, it gets an anime adaptation. And Dogs Red. I've talked about both of
yeah.
those and had a really good time. I'm having a really good time with them, I should say.
Hey,
I've,
Mike.
Mike, what's happening?
What's up, squad? Sorry I'm late.
No worries. I'm
Hey.
just talking about the different manga and anime that I've been consuming. I've definitely lately been more watching than reading. I had a really good time with this spring season. Like Viral Hit, I really enjoy. Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again is fun, and Bartender
I'm
Black.
sorry. Wait, what?
It's the movie 17 again, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially that. Except I think
Yeah.
they're still adults when they turn young, but it's essentially like this grandma and grandpa. They ate like a special apple, and they woke up the next day and they were young. It's very feel good. That's what spring has been for me. Spring has been you're gonna just watch all the stuff that just make you feel good. Except
Yeah, it was,
Kaiju and Demon Slayer are definitely there. Like we're gonna give you some pain at some point.
I mean, it's been high on adrenaline, and I do find it funny how they are stretching out the Hashira training arc. But then again, that arc in the manga is extremely short, so I can't blame them.
It.
The,
I haven't started it yet, so I mean, I don't care if you spoil anything about it. But is it good expansion or does it feel
yes,
like filler?
No,
it's
I like it.
the equivalent of you seeing them train for being hunters in Attack on Titan anime type of thing.
Oh, so a natural fit where nobody even
Yeah,
notices. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, the fights that they showed, the big fight of last episode, obviously was a sparring fight. Was Tengen and Tanjiro, and that fight, like the fight choreography, all of that was amazing.
Mhm.
I thought afterwards, like, oh yeah, none of that happened in the manga. I was like, well, they gave us a treat. I'm glad they gave us that treat because I like what they're doing with it to flesh it out.
That's good.
Yeah, I have most Demon Slayer fans seems to actually enjoy the additions because I can't recall if I mentioned it, but it's only 8 chapters that arc. So
is that an arc at that point?
I mean,
it's
arc-ish.
Arc-ish, but so it's understandable why they are adding stuff. I figure.
8 chapters is wild, man. This
It is.
Demon Slayer was weekly, right? So that was like was a drop in the bucket.
Yup. But and I can't. So that's why, for example, me and AJ were wondering if they were going to do a movie about it because.
Yeah, because 8 chapters would come out to roughly 2-ish hours. So yeah, they definitely could have done that as a movie.
Well, isn't the season only like 8 episodes?
I don't remember.
I thought I heard it was shorter. Let me look.
That makes sense.
Mike, check the chat, by the way.
I did. I saw the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Demon Slayer, I'm excited to finally check out. It's on my weekend list. I need to catch up on some anime. I've got screeners for My Adventures with Superman and the Boys that I need to get through. But I'm definitely got to make time for Demon Slayer for sure.
Yeah. But Mike, since you're here, what have you watched recently?
I have been watching My Adventures with Superman. That show, amazing. Didge just talking about like feel good anime, and I like My Adventures with Superman is my feel good anime, where it's
That's
just like
fair.
the sappy rom com nature of Scub Clark and Lois's relationship is like, why did I didn't know I needed this. But I need this every week from now until the end of time. So that show is phenomenal. This next episode that's coming up Saturday, I'm not going to spoil it, but watch it. It's great. New characters are introduced. A lot of fun stuff happens there. Outside of that, I'm going to start The Boys. I haven't started it yet. But what I'm watching currently, Superman's definitely up there. I'm still chipping away at Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'll finish it one day. But
where are you there?
I'm on like episode 30. So I'm halfway now. Halfway. By summer's end, I'm going to get through this.
There you go.
Do you like it so far?
It's a good show. It's still not my favorite. And I guess I just have to get used to that of like, I don't think I like this series as much as everyone else. That said, it's still really good. You know, like, I can acknowledge the greatness of Full Metal. I think also, like, me being a new anime fan, I'm watching all of these out of order, and so they hit me differently than you, Isaac, for example, because, like, I didn't watch Naruto until 2020. That still hit for me. I watched Dragon Ball Z in, like, 2021, did not like it. But it's like, if I watched that when I was a kid, when it came out, I probably have a completely different outlook on it, but it's like, why is that show so slow? When Demon Slayer, like you guys were just saying, 8-episode season, that's all they need to do.
Yeah.
That's fair. You know what? I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. So, that's also why I love My Hero Academia, is because that's the first anime I've ever watched. And it's easy for me to get into it because it's a riff on things I already like. It's a riff on superheroes, it's a riff on X-Men, so it was easy for that to hook me, as opposed to some of these other shows. Over time, I learned to appreciate anime and these other shows, but like that's why My Hero was such an easy click for me at first. Speaking of which, I've been reading that book ending. This next chapter on Sunday is called Epilogue. That's the title of the chapter, and it's like that's it. It's like
that's gotta be it. Like you can't go Epilogue Part 2.
Right. I mean, I don't know, because not getting into story spoilers, but Horikoshi's comment in Shonen Jump this week was like, we're gonna go back to basics. We're gonna go back to academia. And it's like, sir, the chapter's called Epilogue. How we go? We do SATs now after the end of the world?
Like, that's it. You can't. Epilogue can't be. All right, we're starting. Well, I feel like. Well, let me see what was Naruto's last chapter. Theirs might have been epilogue too.
I mean, you could say the epilogue part 1, epilogue part 2. You could make a. Like,
if he titled it part 1, I get it. But according to these links from yesterday, it's just called Epilogue, and I'm like, nah, man, we can't do that.
Then it has to be a longer than usual chapter.
Yeah.
Because I can see it. Wasn't it you that said that top 6 chapters after this or something?
Yeah, there's probably like 7 more to fill out the next volume. But yeah, My Hero's been great. I love this ending. This war arc has been weird, but I think the resolution.
Yeah,
we're dancing around it. Well, Didge will get there in 2 years.
Hey man, eventually.
Eventually, it's been weird, but the ending was very satisfying to me. Also, Isaac, I know we haven't talked the show on this channel yet. I really love season 7. Like, I do not like this arc. But Bones is actually kind of in their bag right now, like changing things up to make it flow better. Their animation quality improved from last season, so that's been cool.
I might pick it up properly then, because due to how the story arc was, I haven't been thrilled on the. I need to watch it ASAP if you catch it.
I mean, the BS you don't like is still there, front and center. I'm sorry, but
yeah, but it could have been executed better in the anime for all I know.
It feels better. It does feel better. I will say that. Like, even when we were reviewing those chapters, we kept saying, when this is animated, this might flow better. And it does. It flows 1,000 times better.
Oh, I remember
Always good
that.
then.
Yeah. And Kaiju, that's my new show. I love it.
Oh, it's great.
So much fun. You guys kept saying the manga's great for like a year. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm just going to wait for the anime. I'm going to wait for the anime. And the wait was worth it. I love this show so much.
That's fair.
Kafka is awesome.
Kafka's such an interesting shonen protagonist, right? This dude in like his mid-30s, as opposed to like the 14-year-olds that we see every single story. Completely different perspective and POV. So that's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I get the same feeling when Sakamoto Days comes out, because literally AJ just told me like last week, pick it up once you finish My Hero, and a week later it's like trailer. It's like, ha, I win.
Yeah, I got it. I've been told many a time I need to pick that up, and then they announced the anime.
Amazing.
Well,
as I said on our mangas that needs animes, it's essentially what if John Wick actually got a happy life with a daughter and wife that actually survived, yet he gets involved in shenanigans, and it just gets become more insane by the time goes on. Short synopsis, but
I would say, like, every time you and AJ mention it, you guys, like, AJ said it's the best book in Shonen Jump, which for a One Piece stand to say that, I know it has to be legit. Even if it's not the best book in Shonen Jump, it has to be legit.
It's at least top 5, that's for certain. At the minimum.
Well, in that case, I have to ask. I'm not trying to take over the conversation. I know we've got a movie to talk about. But, Isaac, what's the top 5?
I don't really know what I would put in top 3 or top 5. That's why I'm so certain. That's why I at least say top 5.
Of current running, would you say it's One Piece, Sakamoto Days, JJK? Top 3?
My current favorites, my personal current favorite.
I roll from Didge.
One Piece.
Drop JJK.
One Piece is my family, and actually, I know this will sound a bit odd, but considering that I barely talk about it unless we're in this on this podcast, but Let the Exorcist Fall in Love. I so hope that book gets an anime one day, because it's such a good book. You have read Did you continue reading it after the chapters?
I read a couple more chapters. I fell off. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't that it was just bad. It was just that there's so much stuff to catch up on.
That's fair. But
I
One
feel
Piece
that.
Spy and My Exorcist is probably my favorite.
It is good. It is really good. Like, I do need to pick it back up. I need to set a day aside where I just do nothing but read manga.
Oh, speaking of manga, I forgot, because this is what we're watching / reading. Boruto. Boruto
is hype.
Isaac, I kid you not, this book is amazing.
You guys need to have a Boruto stream at some point.
We were planning one. Brandon and I were planning one. He caught up to do that stream, but life happens. We'll get to it one day. But yeah, Two Blue Vortex is honestly one of my favorite books I've been reading right now.
So hype.
Not just for, I don't know if we have any Boruto anime onlys or people who are caught up with the book somehow watching this, but a lot of stuff is happening. I need to see where it goes, because Didge, you're right, it's hype, but also I also feel like Kishimoto could fumble this very easily. So it's month to month, I'm like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to introduce now?
One would say he fumbled towards the end of Shippuden, so I get it.
Okay,
that's fair. If you're an anime only of Boruto, you're barely through the manga, considering the amount of fillers.
Yes and no. I mean, the anime was like 4 chapters away from where we are now, if we're being real.
Considering it's 70% filler, I did not expect that.
Well, that's why it's 70% filler. Remember, this book is monthly. Mm-hmm. So they were just wasting time, because they knew that they were always so close. So they were just wasting time. That's why it's filler.
Fair enough. But yeah. Have you watched anything else, Mike?
That's it. On the topic of Naruto and Boruto, though, I'm excited that we're finally getting those 4 episodes we've been waiting over a year for to celebrate its 20th anniversary.
I honestly forgot. They were already a year back from the 20th anniversary when they announced them.
We're on what, 23rd anniversary this year now?
I think so. Like, you might have
blown it to 25 already.
I was just gonna say it, but I'm like, no, they'll hear me and be like, yeah, that's right. So I didn't want to finish it.
Better late than ever, I suppose.
I guess. I'm not gonna complain about more Naruto.
No.
Yeah. But we need to cover those once those episodes comes out.
Oh, trust me, we wanted to. We had a whole series where we reviewed all this other crap.
We did a whole series for it.
Those are fun though. We have to do more movie series. DBZ, One Piece, MHA, with any franchise, I'm down.
I was gonna say Pokemon, but that's probably only me that would enjoy that.
I mean, I like the movie we reviewed a few years ago. That was my first time watching Pokemon ever. It was fun.
Fair enough. But yeah, here Red watching Kaiju, Spice, and Windbreaker. And I will pick up now MHA. And
so,
obviously.
Talk to me about Windbreaker, because AJ keeps coming in the chat saying, it's peak. I don't know what this show is or what it's about.
He doesn't say anything else. He just goes, it's peak, and then leaves. And I'm like, all right, man.
It's essentially, how should I put it? It's essentially, I've only seen 4 episodes so far. But
4 more than me.
From what I can gather, it's essentially what if Tokyo Revengers was good, and I mean that is in you have an lead that is actually likable and you want to follow. There is no form of time jumping, which just makes that show all the it makes no sense for that story, and we have the whole gang rivalry, delinquents type stuff, which is in Tokyo Revengers, and well, it may how should I put it? It's sure the those that are delinquents essentially have superpowers, but it's at the same time feels more believable than Tokyo Revengers to an extent, and well, the characters are just more enjoyable to follow at this right now. The main character is sort of like he got bullied and outcasted because of his look. He has different colored eyes. He has pretty much Todoroki hair. He's has black and white hair, and because of that, he hasn't let anyone in. But when he started to save some people from other bad delinquents, people start to appreciate him, and he doesn't know how to take a thank you, if that makes any sense.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's and Spice and Wolf. It's currently my feel-good show. It's just, and I do love the dynamic of Hollow and Lawrence, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. Honestly,
Nice.
And-
I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add both of those to my list. I might have to put Full Metal down for a second and get caught up on new shows for the season.
That is completely fair.
And well, and yeah, One Piece is just insane right now. Yeah, both in the manga and the anime. Yeah, Luffy in one of the recent episodes went to Dynamax Gengar all of a sudden, and it just made perfect sense.
I love that you have your own language because that, in theory, that sentence makes no sense, but I got it. I get it.
Yeah. You Google Gigantamax Gengar, and you get. Didge know what I'm talking about since I shown him, but it was a while back. And well, JJK Giga needs therapy.
Yeah,
for certain. That we can all agree on.
we need to do a JJK. We might just need to do another manga episode of like we have to talk about whatever JJK is doing in the end of MHA and Boruto. Like we need to do a couple more manga reviews in the near future.
I agree.
I'd be down for it, but it's gonna be pain.
JJK, that was such a roller coaster of the we are so back to hold up, bro. What are we doing?
I was fully the epitome of all right, we doing something. Wait, you're doing a little too much. You're doing a little too much. And take a step back.
It's literally like, wait, go back.
Right.
Oh man.
I still don't dislike it as other people the recent chapters, but yeah, that's for another day. But
For sure.
this let's go to the main topic of tonight, which is the movie My Oni Girl, and this honestly, which was sort of like a cute surprise because I didn't know what to expect about it, and this is a movie directed by Tomotaka Shibayama, which some might recognize as the director for Whiskers Away. I don't recall if we reviewed it here on the channel. I know that I reviewed it for the Wobam when that channel was up and running.
Yeah.
And he has also worked as an art director for the likes of The Girl Who Left from Time and one of my favorite anime movies, Spirited Away, actually. So,
Yeah, he comes from the Miyazaki tree in sports terms, right? The coaching tree.
Yeah.
Where it's like working at Ghibli automatically is like, okay, I'm interested to see what you make once you step out of that
Yeah.
box, you know.
But so he has some form of I should put it experience if you have worked on that move. I
Right.
argue. But anyway, Mike, what's your thoughts about it? Or
I have not seen this movie.
okay,
I am here for the conversation about the movie.
okay,
So this is a film where, I mean, you know, working for Collider, I've edited articles on it, so like I have a general idea, but I haven't seen it myself. So I want to hear your guys' perspective on it, mainly because this went very under the radar. Where like Netflix didn't really tweet about it. They didn't have any like anything on, like they have an anime account and they don't share anything about this movie on there. And so I want to really hear your guys' opinions on the quality of it, the plot, all that stuff, because is this going to be a hidden gem for Netflix, or were they just like throwing it away because they knew it wasn't going to take off?
honest for me, Didge, you can start. Start
Yeah,
with
okay.
Your thoughts.
So this one, yeah, like you said, it flew completely under the radar. I didn't see anything from Netflix about it. Even when I logged in, like they're usually really good about showing, like obviously I watch a lot of anime on Netflix, so they're really good about showing me these are all the new things that came out recently that you're probably interested in. And for some reason, this just was nowhere to be seen. I had to actually go search for it. And
That's bad.
That's really bad.
That's really bad.
Because your algorithm should be trained to be like, hey, new Netflix original anime thing, homepage.
Right.
Apparently, they did a short mention on it on the Netflix anime on April 30th.
Really?
That's about it.
I don't remember seeing
That's so long ago from release, though.
That is also true. But either way, I feel like they're doing this movie a disservice. Now, I told both of you guys already that I definitely fell asleep. I had to rewatch a part of it this morning, but that's just because I was super tired. It's a good coming to age story, and that's definitely what this movie is. And I guess to that point, I could see where it could be very much a hit or miss. I don't know how much people are still in the come to age movie like era. I feel like that was very much a early 2000s, late 90s type of thing. You don't really get too many of those coming of age movies anymore, I feel like. So I could see them thinking, well, this isn't really our wheelhouse too much anymore, which it's weird because I feel like Stranger Things is definitely that. Like,
yeah.
So,
I mean, Suzume and The Boy in the Heron are kind of like that too, you know? So it's like, I'd lean into, especially from director of Studio Ghibli fame, right?
Yeah.
Like, put that on a poster.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I could think that they wouldn't have done it. But like you said, yeah, it fits. All of those things would have been selling points. And again, watching it, I thought it was pretty good. I can't say it was like the greatest thing that he's probably done. I mean, it's going to be tough to ever say something's better than Spirited Away. So, you know,
Yeah.
But I was thoroughly enjoying it throughout the entire runtime. I personally do still like a really good coming of age story, but I also love that it had like a fantastical element to it. So like seeing the whole thing of him, he's very much like at the beginning, like very steadfast. Like I follow all the rules to I'm eventually becoming like, I'm going to make my own person. I'm going to be my own. I can't necessarily say man, obviously still a teenager, but I'm going to be my own man. And it's always fun to watch. So like, I had a good time with it. This definitely didn't turn me off to seeing whatever his next film was going to be. That's always how I try to take the mark of, okay, how good was this story? Am I going to see the director the next time and go, what you did for me lately wasn't great?
That's such an interesting gauge. I respect it.
Well, because, you know, obviously trailers go a long way, but as somebody who's edited videos, I know how easy it is to say, well, this whole isn't great, but I can sell it to you. So
Yeah.
that kind of takes a little bit of the luster away from trailers for me because I get scared and go, well, did you just show me all the best parts there? Now, granted, for this, I didn't even see a trailer. This was just I dove in just straight off the hey, you want to watch this? So
That's interesting. So the blind watch is always my favorite of like not knowing what it is and just going for it.
I'm gonna be honest, it threw me for a loop. I know it was called My Oni Girl, and the cover looks very, very like slice of life ish. But I was like, Oni, this is gonna have a little bit more. This is gonna be a little bit darker, and I didn't get any darkness, so it was a fun time.
My only theory about this being as how should I put it badly promoted for Netflix is maybe the Whiskers Away didn't do that good on their platform when that movie came out, but but I do remember when I saw that movie on Netflix too. I can't recall any promotional material for that movie either, so it just. And I have to say, have to agree with Didge. Is this the next Suzume or Your Name? No, it's not. And but it's good enough to say that it is worth the watch at least one time. And it's a shame that it has flown under the radar and a radar for so many people. That's one of the major reasons why I actually suggested it, because, well, I do like covering stuff that goes under the radar.
Right.
And I have to say, it sort of borrows elements to an extent of Weathering with You, I would argue, because this is sort of like a coming of age story where they are kind of trying to find something in trying to realize that they are missing something and not just being kids, if that makes any sense. And I have to admit that I don't know if I would call it relationship interaction between the two leads, which the name Higari and Sumugi. I hope I pronounced those names right.
That's why I held off from it, because I knew I was going to butcher
Hiragi
it.
and Sumugi. I do think it's right, but
looking at it written, that's how I would assume. So I think you're in the clear.
Yeah, but it's sort of like if you want. This is a perfect example of a movie that do you want just some lighthearted, to some extent, road trip, coming of age story. This is a perfect choice for a good night, good movie night, or something along those lines. And
sorry, go ahead.
but it's just such a shame that Netflix did jack shit to promote this, honestly.
So I'm scrolling through the Netflix anime Twitter, right? They did tweet about this movie on May 24th, saying it's now on Netflix. They posted like a teaser trailer for it. But it's just been flooded with Baki and The Way of the Lone Wolf.
I missed that then.
No, but I'm saying like they post about it once and it's just getting buried. They even post about One Piece and Suzume, and I wonder if getting the rights for Suzume was the nail in the coffin of this movie, right? Because
probably
from the way you guys are describing it about it being this coming of age adventure, that's everything Suzume is, and Suzume is an award-winning anime, you know.
That's the other thing that I'm so confused, because I just rewatched Suzume, and it's like, I watch all of this stuff on my computer, so it's like my cookies is all through here. You're seeing that, okay, this is something that this kid likes, like
Right.
So I don't get why it just didn't get recommended for me. Netflix does some weird stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same streaming service that you apparently can just fix on your profile. Oh, I want to have that language on my profile, and boom, you get a totally different regional access to your what you're able to watch. So,
I mean, you breaking it down like that, yeah, that is kind of silly. That makes no sense. It's like,
you
wait a
don't
minute.
even need a VPN for that.
It's like, wait, I change it to French and I get France's Netflix? That doesn't make any sense.
That is fair. You know what? I didn't think about that.
Oh, man. From what I've seen about this movie, though, it does look interesting, especially hearing you guys' spoiler-free thoughts on it so far. Looking at some of the promotional stills and the teaser, does it have like that summer vacation vibe to it? Because it says that that the story is like taking place over a wintry summer. So like, what kind of feeling does it kind of give you, Isaac, when you're watching it?
The snowy part is honestly a spoiler, I dare argue.
Oh, it's front and center in the synopsis I'm reading right here on their website. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but if I would go into detail about the snow, it's arguably a spoiler. I don't know what Didge thinks about it.
Yes and no. There's a distinct. I feel like without going into spoiler territory, you can. There's a reason why they said it that way, and it's because the code definitely comes to them, and very quickly at that. So it's
Yeah.
It does have the. It is supposed to be summer vacation. It looks. You could tell in the drawing, like the way that the art is, that it's supposed to be bright, flowery. Like this is everything from the story to the art direction to honestly the cover, like the poster, is definitely supposed to show you like this warm, lighthearted feel, and
it looks like a Ghibli movie. Strangely enough,
yeah, and you can tell that's even through the plot, like all of that is very purposeful. But I feel like the snow, whether they're using it as an allegory for growing or just, coming into yourself, it comes to disrupt very quickly. And it disrupts the characters' lives a lot. And that is
an
something
understatement.
Anything beyond that, you're going to start spoiling. That's all you got to kind of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fair point.
I hear you.
But on to some extent, I would say it's what's the director of Suzumi's name again?
Makoto Shinkai?
This is a Shinkai movie on a smaller scale. I dare argue with how the story is structured. Would you say that, Didge?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it deserves to be in the same conversation as those types of movies. I do think that they're grander, a little bigger. This would for sure be like the little brother to something like that.
That's fascinating hearing you guys say that, because is this the director's first movie? Because if it is, like okay.
It's not. The Whiskers Away was something he directed.
Oh, he directed Whiskers Away. Okay.
And I think Drifting Home too.
Let me double check when I'm on IMDb.
Co-director of Whiskers Away. So yeah.
Okay.
But excuse me, I'm just interested to see the career path then, because I mean, not everybody's gonna be Shinkai and Miyazaki, where it's like your entire filmography is nothing but bangers, 9s out of 10s, Oscar-winning movies, right? But like seeing that style evolve a bit more on like movie 3 or 4, I think is going to be really fascinating. And hopefully, this does well enough where Netflix is like, yeah, we're going to give you another one and a slightly bigger budget too,
Yeah, that would be really cool because I think this was for sure enough that you want to see where they're going to go next.
I just double checked, and before Whiskers Away, he had only directed some episodes for animes. One of them being Your Lie in April, and what's that? I don't even know how to pronounce that thing, so I'm not even going to attempt to say that.
We will leave it at Your Lie in April. I think that's enough credit right there.
Yeah. And apparently he did an episode of Silver Spoon, which a farmer show, but yeah, he had only directed a few episodes of 3 shows, and then Whiskers Away was his their directorial debut movie-wise, which is also a movie I would recommend, honestly, which is also kind of a coming-of-age movie, ironically, and also very Ghibli-esque.
Yeah, they're coming of age stories are some of my favorites. I mean, that's why I love shonen manga and shonen anime, because those are all essentially coming of age stories. So that's very at home in anime, that type of narrative and genre. So it's always good to see a good one. I know we covered, what was it, Bubble, a year or two ago, Isaac, where it's that one was kind of rough. But this one sounds like it's way better.
Wasn't it basically me versus you and Brandon, because I was the only one that liked it?
It was the very first time I've ever been a hater on this podcast. If I'm being completely honest. I don't think we've ever covered anything I did not like on Otaku, strangely enough. That was it. I'm like, no.
Oh man, let me
so
take
I was
that off my
remembering
list,
correct. So remember right? It was that one that was me versus you and Brandon, because I distinctly remember that Brandon didn't like Bubble either.
Yeah, that checks out. Brandon and I like a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate the heads up. I'm gonna take that off my list. I'll watch it eventually now.
You said I'd get there one day.
Yo,
Netflix released 2 different projects called Bubble that year. That's the funny thing. And they both were 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop was terrible. That one was just I regretted watching that.
Yeah, I didn't hear good things about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god, I pulled up the art. This is interesting for Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great all around.
Huh. The more you know.
It's not great.
But yeah, Didge, do you have anything more for the movie?
No, honestly, I was taking a look online just before the stream just to see what was the general consensus, and it looked like it was very hit or miss for a lot of people. So I would say the same thing I always say anytime I watch anything: watch it for yourself. Don't listen to what the reviewers say. Hell, you don't even have to listen to what we say. Just check it out.
Nope. Listen to what we say. Like, subscribe. Make sure you don't miss anything.
You could do all that, but
Exactly.
still watch it. Watch for yourself. Don't take our words. I know I just said I'm not going to watch Bubble because of what Mike said, but be a better person than I am, because I'm not watching it now. So.
And I tell you, don't be a better person than Didge. Go listen to that podcast and see why you shouldn't watch that dumb movie.
That's fair. You know what? Do that.
Still enjoy it.
And then go watch it for yourself.
Yeah, I liked it, you know?
Listen to our words and then go, I want to see if they're right or wrong. That's what I should have said.
I kid. It's all in good fun.
Yeah, it's always in good fun. But yeah, I'm in a sort of similar boat as you. I can understand if you... but like I said, I feel like this is just it deserves one watch at least, and
yeah,
if it doesn't click, I can understand that, but it's Netflix. I definitely feel like they are doing this one dirty, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway is like I Netflix, I know you get something almost every day, but you are doing a disservice to certain things with the way that you market stuff. And I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
So
I'm not trying to like take over this show with like topics from the chatter after, but like this is one thing that was in the news recently of like the head of Netflix saying Barbie and Oppenheimer would have done just as well, if not better, if it was a Netflix original. And it's just like I don't think so because look at what happens.
Yeah.
Look at if this movie was a theatrical release and the trailer played before what was the last anime movie that came out? If it played before Boy and the Heron, right? Mm-hmm. It's like this is a new anime movie coming out next spring. I guarantee you more people would have seen it. You know?
Agreed.
And so like sometimes you have things blow up like Bridgerton. Bridgerton is the most watched show in the world right now.
Right.
But those are the outliers, right? Those are you can name the Netflix hits on both hands and pretty much be done, right? Stranger Things, Wednesday, Bridgerton, and then you start struggling, right? More often than not, movies or shows end up like this, where it's like a select few find out about it and they watch it, and hopefully word of mouth makes it blow up. But more often than not, no matter how good it is, this could have been a 10 out of 10. But if Netflix didn't put the effort into marketing it as such, it's just gonna get buried. Like the fact that Didge's algorithm didn't recommend it is mind-boggling to me because that's you're the one person that's the person you should be trying to reach.
Yeah,
you know.
I was lucky then that they suggested it. I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't have checked it out because I would have never known it existed. I don't go on Netflix and go, okay, let me go to the anime section and check it out. Like, I've watched enough on there that it's usually pretty good about recommending stuff to me, so I never felt the need to. I go to other sites to do stuff like that. So, yeah, it's very interesting. They'll sure recommend Young Sheldon to me. I don't know how.
I'm scrolling in my top picks because I haven't opened Netflix in like 2 months. My top picks: Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Naruto, Young Sheldon for some reason, like Didge was just saying, Madam Web because they're being funny, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Avatar: Last Airbender. You know Hakusho's on Netflix.
Yep. I think that's a recent development.
Wow. Black Clover, Blood of Zeus, Dr. Stone, JoJo's, Death Note, Delicious in Dungeon, Mob, Haiku. You see how many anime before the new movie, by the way, is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on like page 3 and it's still not here, which is shocking.
For me, apparently the first top pick is the new show Baby Reindeer, and I'm just in 3.
That show is great though.
Is it that popped up on mine too?
Baby Reindeer's great. Isaac, don't watch it. You don't want to watch it, but it is a good show.
I take your word for it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, since we don't really have much more to say about the movie,
do better, Netflix.
Do better, Netflix. Mike, where can people find you?
You can find me at Now It's Cinephile, everywhere on TikTok, on X, on YouTube. You can also find me at The Novice Cinephile on Threads and Instagram. Had a bunch of fun shorts go up and TikToks and Reels. They're talking with the directors of X-Men 97. They're controversial opinions on some X-Men lore, which I think is fascinating. You can also find me at the chatter after whenever we do episodes. I know things are very slow over there, but we just did a stream Didge and I just came from reacting to the state of play. Astrobot, baby. I'm hyped. Can't wait. You can also find my writings over at Collider.com. I just interviewed Kyohei Kwan for Loki, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. He also has a new action movie where he's playing an action star. He finally revealed some information about that. So that's really cool.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be great. So yeah, Novice Cinephile everywhere. Collider.com. Bet.
Didge?
You can find me at Didge_DEE everywhere. Like Mike said, we just got through doing some gaming stuff over there on the Chatter After channel. That also was co-streamed to my personal channel, where you can find me doing more gaming stuff, all gaming stuff, especially these next couple of weeks with Summer Games Fest popping off. There are so many streams. There are so many new games coming out, new demos and stuff, and I making it my mission to try as many as I can. I was gonna say try them all, but that's a lie. I won't have enough time to try them all.
We are so back. It was such a boring year in gaming last year.
Right. So we will try as many as I can, and I'll definitely come and take a look.
Yeah, and well, you can find me over here at the Amateur Otaku, and hopefully I have something else started off soon enough on the internet that I might hopefully be able to announce. And you can find me at Emblemaniac on Twitter, and you can find the pod at the Amateur Otaku Pod on Twitter. No, I'm never gonna call it X, but and then you can find me over at I barely use Instagram, so it's pretty pointless. I am on Threads at least. But
before you sign off, Isaac, I got to push my agenda. We have to start calling it X now. The house of the Twitter that we once knew is gone, man. We got to let it go.
Okay,
every other search result is not safe for work. No matter what you click on, every ad is for OnlyFans. Like, the Twitter that I once knew is gone. I'm not devaluing its memory by calling this monstrosity Twitter.
That's fair. That's fair. You know,
it's funny because the only ads I get is fucking cryptocurrency for some godforsaken reason. But I digress.
I wish it.
I would live with cryptocurrency.
I would for sure live with crypto.
Yeah, but anyway, have it awesome, y'all. Please like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, have it
it's
awesome,
still a bell,
y'all.
right? Yeah.
It's a bell, I think. I don't know.